Good afternoon, students. Welcome to today class. Today we will discuss teaching through storytelling method. Effective storytelling involves a deep understanding of human emotions, motivation, and psychology in order to truly move an audience. Story play an important role in our life to inculcate especially moral value to, to deeply understand uh, the concept. So story telling playing an important role in our life. Learning objective of our today topic, a student will be able to understand the storytelling method, importance of storytelling method. What is storytelling? Storytelling is the social and cultural activity of sharing stories, often with improvisation, theatrics, or embellishment. Stories or narrative have been shared in every culture as means of entertainment, educational, cultural preservation, and instilling moral values. Storytelling is conveying knowledge, event, or experiences in word by using sketch, images, dramas, map, and sound, often by embellishment. It is a literally about telling a story. A person who has valuable knowledge tell stories from his or her experiences in front of people who want to gain knowledge. Storytelling, knowledge, experiences, event, story plus telling words by using sketch, image, diagrams, map, and sound, or often uh, mm, by embellishment, conveying. Why storytelling? Education have long know that the art can contribute to student academic success and emotional well-being. The ancient art of storytelling is especially well stood for student exploration. No special equipment beyond the imagination and the power of uh, uh, listening and speaking is needed to create uh, artist image. As a learning tool, storytelling can encourage students to explore their unique ex, expressiveness uh, and can heighten a student ability to communicate thought and feeling in an articulate, lucid manner. Storytelling is the art of using language, vocalization, physical movement, and gesture to revolve the elements and image of a story to a specific live audience. It is said that the art of bringing a story to life is through the inflection in one's voice, rhythm, facial expression, hands, and body movements. By Gravy, 1990, stories are powerful means of language teaching. A skillful teacher can use a story to develop more efficient listening, more fluent speaking, and ability to read and write easily and completely. The hidden power of story. Science, by its own definition, does not give us meaning. It just provides us with facts. Our lives gain meaning only when we tell us story. According to Dr. Herbert, story are essential to younger learners. There are numerous numbers of reasons to be used storytelling strategies teaching, especially in preschools. Why stories are important according to Dr. Herbert? Say, storytelling help us grab children attention, especially in primary and pre-primary school. It is very difficult to grab the attention of the student. So teacher can use story method to grab the children attention. Children encounter words. Take children on a journey. Whenever you using story telling method, you taking your children on the journey of the story. Children make the most of language. Stimulate intense experiences without actually having lived through them. For example, jungle, seabird, or any uh, ancient, etc. Survive and make sense of the real world. Develop social senses in story in student by storytelling. So these are the important, or we can say, benefit of storytelling method. Other benefit of storytelling uh, method: story are powerful source of imagination. In a story method, student image the particular situation, things. So it is story are powerful sources of imagination. A story can lead the children towards creative thinking than writing. Stories can make your class more communicative, because students are taking more interest, so they listen carefully and asking many questions related to story. So story make class communicative. uh, Storage can more helpful make children confident. Storage can introduce cultural activities. Storage build moral value in an interesting way. Storage enhance public speaking skills. Story reduce stage fear. Sometimes story always provide the situation to uh, express your imagination, express your problem, uh, and between of audience. Main principle of storytelling technique: storyteller must have good presentation skills, uh, good eye contact, good enthusiasm and expression, good preparation, good use of voice and good volume, appropriate talking speed, good use of body and handle gesture. making stories exciting and fun. So stories, uh, whenever teachers say today we will listen, today I will tell a story, the student very excited, or they uh, love to listen a story. Whenever teacher add the tool, they will the tool will enhance the fun and encourage student to listen carefully. So the tool of storyteller, uh, voice, body language, face expression, imagination, enthusiasm, uh, spirit, cooperation with audience. Voice according to the story. If some uh, uh, sad news or sad story, your voice should be according to sad. And if you are saying some exciting things, so in you should show your voice in excitement according to your body language, according to your face expression. So these are the tool for making your story interesting and uh, provide more fun when student listen the stories. Elements of story: background. This is include the introduction of this include the introduction of the uh, characters and settings. Rising action. This include this include uh, an event leading up to the main problem or conflict. Climax. This is when the problem reaches at a high point. Falling action. This is when the characters work to solve the problem or conflict. Resolution. Resolution. This uh, is how things end up end up in the story. The plot of great story includes a starting point, quickly setting up the story, and interesting dilemma or conflict. The journey to solve the conflict. Climax. Resolution. The lesson learned through the story. easy step to create great storytelling. Create character according to your story. Create characters. Uh, make your storytelling big or small. Have fully control on your facial expressions. Talk with your hands. Create a storytelling atmosphere. It means create atmosphere. So, student uh, very uh, uh, show the curiosity to what will be the next. This is the types of atmosphere you should create. Talk with your hand. It means express your hand what they are doing, not doing, and according to your story. Uh, win the audience with the first line. It means your introduction is too much strong uh, to टू उस बच्चों को अपनी तरफ ध्यान आकर्षित करने के लिए आपका जो 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 फर्स्ट लाइन है वो ही बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होनी चाहिए. टेल द स्टोरी विथ फीलिंग. Involve the audience in the story. It means you should communicate with your student in between of your story. Showdown for the ending. How to capture your student attention. Storytelling has been around as long as humankind. It is one of the most effective way to communicate an important truth to another person. It is a connection point between two people. It gives meaning, contact, and understanding in a world that is often filled with shock and uh, disorder. Because of this, educator must use story if they hope to reach their student. The stories will say story will stay with the pupil much longer than facts or statistics. If the uh, if the teacher become an excellent storyteller, he or she can ensure that any concept they teach will be remembered for years to come. Every part must be essential in storytelling. When you compose your storytelling, be it is factional story to teach a lesson or a non faction example. Make sure that each part of the story is essential to the ending. Each character point or principle must show how relate to the main point you are trying to drive home. Anything that does not affect the outcome in some way, directly or indirectly, can be hacked of the story. Let's take, for example, a story about a planet. You may be trying to help a student memorize the order of the solar system, and any let your mm, any tell you connect to help him illuminate the facts must be related to the planets. It is not the time to take about black holes, uh, supernovas, uh, or even the size of each planet. Draw a theme out of your story. Stories have a deep of meaning when there is a theme. However, it is not always easy to write a story with a theme in mind. Rather, write the story first with all the point you want to cover. When you are finished, stand back from the story for a moment to see if you can draw out of theme. This is especially important when your story relate to incident in the past. Themes help connect the past with the present and ultimately the future. Keep simple. Complicated story are not necessarily better. If your audience is young, simple is obvious. However, even older audience can be profoundly impact when you take a complex idea and reduce it to a uh, nugget that can be remembered. Scientific principle like gravity and electricity can be difficult for younger minds. Use analogous can help, for example, to explain an electric circuit, describe how a train can only move along tracks that are connected to each other. Maintain eye contact. Eye contact is one of the most important non-verbal way to connect with other people. It not only help keep student attention but also convey a sense of confidence and truthfulness. Use vivid language the kid can understand. Some psychologists argue that telling a story is one of the primary way humans learn. Even if you are teaching science or math concept, pick a words to word that your student have not heard to heard of before. Describe and define the word first and then use it throughout the story. For example, if you are taking science, identify the word energy and thus use it several times during your story. By the end of the story, they will have learned the concept of the table plus some vocabulary. Use movement in your whenever you telling a story. Uh, movement can be used in multiple ways as the storyteller teller can point a picture with the body using your hand, feet, legs, and hands. Similarly, you can ask the student to perform movements during certain part of the story. This will help activate their memory and keep their attention focused on what you are communicating. Use dramatic pauses. Pupils often take more quickly than the brain can process. If you pause at a crucial moment in the story, you will give your student the chance to thinking critical about the pieces of the information you have just given. Don't be afraid a pause, especially at a tension moment. Change your voice with different characters. It helps to make characters more memorable when you give them personalities. Part of that includes changing your voice with each character. Without visual props, the voice is one of the only ways to bring the characters to life. If you can have multiple instructors acting as different character, This is the best option. Make the character relatable. The main character of your story must be relatable to your student. You want theme to root for the character choice and decision. If the main character is a dude, the students won't care if he or she succeed or falls. How to tell a story? Mastering storytelling fundamentals. Engage your audience. Build the sense. Build tension and release tension. Focus on what's important. Keep the follow logical. Make it feel conclusive. Activity related to story. Mastering storytelling fundamentals. You can tell a story while children draw it. Boost up artist ability in your student. Promote questions after object you have told a story. Uh, Imprivative sentence, suggested stories, a story of zero. So these are the alternative activity related to story. Suggested stories, uh, verbs with or without plot. He that goes barefoot must not plot thrown English. Better to be free bird than a captive kings. These are the references you should go through for further more detailed knowledge of storytelling. Now, 10C time of MCQs. Storytelling is the filling the blanks of sharing stories, often with improvisation, theatrics, or embellishment. Option A, social and cultural activity. Option B, activity. Option C, enjoyable activity. Option D, none of the above. Next MCQs. As a learning tool, filling the blank can encourage students to explore their unique expensive and express Venus and can heighten a student ability to communicate thought and feeling is an articulate lucid manner. Option A, storytelling. Option B, drawing. Option C, enjoyable activity. Option D, none of these. Choose appropriate answer. How to capture student attention? Option A, make the character relatable. Relatable. Option B, keep it simple. Option C, both A and B. None of these. Choose appropriate answer. Next MCQs. Which of the following is not a way you can get involved with storytelling at home? Option A, have your child silently read on book a day. Asking your children to retell a story you just read. Reading a book with your child and discussion what happened. Next option, option D, having your child create a timeline with pictures and words to retell the story. You have 4 options. Choose appropriate answer. Which of the following does not support the importance of storytelling in your child education? Option A, encourages expressions and artist viewpoint through retelling the story. Give children a visual for the story that are reading. Option C, help your child become better artist. Option D, allow student to build on to the story by adding characters. Next MCQs. Which at home activity would be the best for storytelling? Option A, drawing a picture. Option B, creating a timeline. Option C, creating a play. Option D, conducting a conversation about the text. Option E, sorry, all of the above. In this question, you have 5 options. Choose appropriate answer. Next MCQs. How often should you use storytelling? Option A, daily, even if the child does not want. Option B, once in a week. Option C, once a month. Option D, as often as the child wants. Choose appropriate answer. Next MCQs. Storytelling can be used in which these subject: language, art. Option A. Option B, social studies, option C, science, all the above. Choose appropriate answer. Next MCQs, which of the following statement is not true? Option A, oral tradition of storytelling has taken many forms throughout the past. Option B, we can easily point out the story of the oral tradition. Option C, people can learn to plot from oral tradition. Option D, all societies and culture have some from the oral tradition. Choose appropriate answer. Next MCQs, filling the blanks is the one of the most important non-verbal way to connect with other pupils. Option A, drawing a picture, drawing a picture. Option B, eye contact. Option C, creating a play. Option D, none of these. Choose appropriate answer and send your answer in my comment box. Thank you, student. You listen me patiently. Have a good day.